I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are just west of downtown Denver off of I-25 at Broncos Stadium at Mile High. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Play action. Now Trubisky. And his first pass is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, Trubisky forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Now it's Flacco. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Flacco. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 yards there and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long after.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Jeff Hireman, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. Well, that was a simple throw and catch. But even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 22 yards there, a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's Trubisky sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. 1st and 10 at the 19. First down, a run with Cohen. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Mike Davis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. The extra point up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. There defensively was Buster's screen to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Buster Screen is able to bring him down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Completes it to the tight end, Burton. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Dancing to his left. 12 more yards there and another first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the...
And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have taken the lead. Extra point safely through. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available.
Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. Flacco now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Throwing on second down. Flacco. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And based on...
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Bears will get the football back.
I actually like the fake, all right? They gave it a shot. This is one of those plays where you really think you're going to fool people because he shoveled it off to the kicker, and he was going to try and get it running. We have seen it be successful before, but definitely not on this play.
I was going to say, as the kicker, when you see that it's probably not going to work, just terror and panic in your eyes, I would imagine.
What we really needed there was the close-up of his face while he was running. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 16 yards, a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Trubisky to Gabriel, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Trubisky lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
McManus's point after is good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. An update now from Oakland. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Trubisky now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Looking deep for Gabriel. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. So we've hit half. Well, that came a little abruptly here. So working on my 3rd quarter now. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Flacco leads to Lindsey on the draw. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
This one away by the punter, Dar. Dances by him. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on it. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. That'll go as a loss of 5. They go play action with Trubisky. And this is going to be a safety as Trubisky gets swallowed up in the end zone. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love. Let's go,
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. The Broncos on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Flacco. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up 1st downs.
Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now Trubisky. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down. Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're open, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. A 4-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Now Flacco. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Hamilton. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Complete out right to Jake Butt. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Throwing again on second down. Trubisky. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get into football.
Now Trubisky to throw. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Being chased out left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He will push his way down to about the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the... And he will score! Touchdown, Chicago! Mitchell Trubisky with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them with a lot.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. To pass, Flacco. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Flacco. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Khalil Mack able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's taken to the 26. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This is Gabriel out on the left side. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Shift. 18.
They'll run with Davis. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Cohen. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. He's got the 1st down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert enough? And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. First down, Flacco. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Extra point from McManus is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for the Bears, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. Yeah. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Yeah. This shorty, she support never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great color coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. So talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that on my